in Studio A this afternoon with Brian Dunne. And the show is coming up tonight at Woodlands Tavern. We're going to hear about this new album called Clams Casino. And welcome back.
It's glad to be here.
Yeah, it's, well, gosh, it was a little over a year ago when you were in the studio with Fantastic Cat.
Yeah.
And then back in the summer with them with that sold out show at Natalie's, and now out with this new solo release of yours as the fourth solo album. We'll talk about that. We'll have a couple pairs of tickets to give away for the show tonight at Woodlands. What are you going to start us off with?
Why don't we start off with the title track of the record? This is called Clams Casino.
All right.
I've been trying to have a good life, but no one wants you to be satisfied. They double the bill and split the difference and leave you paying down the interest. Now they say you get what you pay for. I bought a mattress at the discount store. I feel like I'm sleeping on a concrete floor. I guess you get what you pay for. Why is it so hard to have a good thing? It should be easier, you would think. You better be rich and good looking. Is it so hard to have a good thing? Well, I'm just trying to have a good life in Clams Casino on a Sunday night, bidding the house on a bottle of wine. That I'm just trying to have a good time. Is it so bad to want a good thing? Don't even let them catch you looking. Don't let them see you get your foot in. Is it so bad to want a good thing? 'Cause all I want is just a little bit more. Is that so much for me to ask for? In Clams Casino on a Sunday night, is it so bad to want a good life? And she said all you do is bitch and moan. You're never happy and you're never home. Everyone wants what they don't have, and you really don't have it half bad. But baby, I'm trying to express myself. You know the doctor said it might help if I can release some of this tension. If I can make peace with the question, is it so bad to want a good thing? Don't even let them catch you looking. Don't let them see you get your foot in. Is it so bad to want a good thing? 'Cause all I want is just a little bit more. Is that so much for me to ask for? In Clams Casino on a Sunday night, is it so bad to want a good life? Is it so bad to want a good life? Is it so bad to want a good life?
Brian Dunne joining us live from Studio A. Tonight's the show over at Woodlands Tavern. Is it solo or you have the band with you tonight?
It's a solo show tonight, yeah. So I'll be all by my lonesome.
Okay, kind of like what you're getting here this
Yeah.
afternoon. And we get to focus on the individual now that you're back. Last time through, it was with the band, and we were kind of talking
Yeah,
about
now
that.
it's my time to shine.
It's your
really.
time to shine, Brian. And Clams Casino is this brand new album. And tell us a story. You're from the East Coast?
Yeah, I grew up in New York, but in a town outside New York City. It's a very provincial, small town. You know, my mom and I went to like the same high school.
Oh.
Very working class town, and I wanted to sort of go back to my roots. There's this thing about New York City, and I've lived in New York City for about 14 years, where everybody kind of pretends they just fell off a truck in the middle of the Bowery or something, and I felt like I wanted to make a roots record about New York and about growing up in the New York metropolitan area and about what that feels like. And and sort of talk a lot about class and where I'm from.
Right. So to paint the picture of Clams Casino on the menu in this restaurant that you remember with your family.
Yeah, so I just when I was a kid, I would I felt like that time was very peppered by this East Coast imagery, these sort of like red sauce Italian restaurants with a white tablecloth, mediocre food. That's a very important part of it. It's got to be mediocre. And I would always see on the menu there'd be something called Clams Casino, which in my young mind felt like the most cosmopolitan, the most fancy thing you could ever order. And I always sort of felt like, yeah, man, when I get to the top of the hill, it's going to be Clams Casino all day and all night. It's not a very fancy meal, and you'll get gout if you eat it all day and all night. But it's just, it sort of stood as a metaphor for what you want when you're firmly placed in the middle.
Right. So what is it?
I don't know. That's what I'm searching for. More. And that song, all I want is just a little bit more. I don't know. Could be money, could be power, could be fame. And yeah, the whole album sort of begs the question, does that make you a fraud to want more if you're proud of your roots?
Right. But Clams Casino is an actual thing.
Yes, it's a food. It's
What
a food
is it?
item.
Do you know, like?
Yes, it's like a bygone food. It's like a quiche Lorraine or a steak Diane. It's like a thing that doesn't really exist anymore. But it's just baked clams and it has bacon and peppers on it. It's not particularly fancy.
But in the photo on the artwork, it's a big bowl of spaghetti.
Yes,
I'm
that was
surprised.
Important to me to not hit the nail too hard on the head.
Gotcha. But was that at an actual restaurant?
No, I actually dressed up my apartment to look because I
Nice.
wanted it to be exactly as I saw fit. So I had a very specific idea of like who I wanted in the pictures behind me, because the album cover's peppered by sort of the classic, and I wanted it to be in a very specific time. So I think the cutoff was 1992. So there are pictures of me, pictures behind me of like Michelle Pfeiffer and Ricky Henderson when he played for the Yankees for like 2 ill-advised seasons, and Andrew Dice Clay, people that sort of like I would have looked around in the year 1994-ish and been like, okay, this is what the world looks like.
Wow. So just one shot. Who was taking the pictures of this, or was it a friend, or did you have the self timer on? Or?
No. A good friend of mine in New York is a great photographer named Marianka. Came over and we sort of devised this all together. And we really, we got into the minutia, like, for instance, like the olive oil on the table. This is so boring. The olive oil on the table is intentionally not Italian. It's the wrong type of olive oil. It's a Spanish olive oil. And I was like, this particular restaurant wouldn't quite have it all figured out. Like, it would be a little rickety.
Right, that makes sense, though.
It wouldn't be fully like, there wouldn't be all Italians on the wall. It would be like a little questionable at an Italian restaurant.
Little suspect,
Yes.
right? It is Brian Dunne joining us live from Studio A. Tonight's the show at Woodlands Tavern. We'll give a pair of tickets away after this next song. Doors are at 7 o'clock, and details at woodlandsproductions.com. And what's this one going to be?
Okay, I want to play this song specifically today. This is a song called I Watch the Light. And this song is about Ohio, but it gets a little playfully anti-Ohio. So for that, I'm going to apologize. Heard you were leaving, moving to Cleveland. You said it's not as bad as it looks or sounds. 'Cause after a while, man, it's all Ohio, man. Everywhere I look around. But I saw you dancing in a door downtown. Such brilliant beauty in your life. And I saw them wear you out and take you down. And I watched the light go out of your eyes. Well, I watched the light go, like watching the Tonight Show. But what was I supposed to do? 'Cause you had a bad run, then you had another one. You said, I think I'm good as through. But the bottom's only part way down. 'Cause that's where they take you for a ride. And you'd be surprised how much the floor gave out. when I watch the light go out of your eyes. Heard you were leaving, moving to Cleveland. You said I'm sick of being poor. And it's been a while, man, since we were wild, man. I just can't do it anymore. But I remember you one night in June, slapping your sticker on a sign. And I watched it rot away so slow and cruel, just like a dream does when it withers on a vine. And somewhere I suppose it simply swallowed you. And I watch the light go out of your eyes. Well, I watch the light go out of your eyes. And I watch the light go out of your eyes.
That's another one. Brian Dunne, live from Studio A, presented by the Greater Columbus Arts Council with I Watch the Light, off the new album Clams Casino. Just came out on September 5th, his fourth solo album. And that song singing about someone or those who've given up on their dreams and headed back home.
Yeah.
So Ohio, who were you basing this on?
It was more of an idea. I was at this party in New York, and this guy who was an actor, and he was a little older than me, and he said, things really change, man, when the good ones sell out and the mediocre ones just have to go home. And it really hit me in the chest, because at first I was like, well, which one am I? And then the second thing that I thought was, I was like, I could sort of see the characters kind of playing out, and that's always what I'm looking for. I like the idea that an album can be a series of character studies of people of a generation, who gets to stay, who has to go, who gets to keep living their dream, who has to kind of move back to their hometown. So I was writing a lot of songs about that idea. And Ohio was just sort of an arbitrary place that I placed the song, but it could be anywhere,
Yeah.
And it's this idea of that dreams don't necessarily die in this sort of plane crash seismic moment. They just kind of wither away over time until one day you wake up and they're kind of completely unrecognizable. And it's not even a sad day. It's kind of a relief.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was an interesting character study. I'm 36 now, and I was seeing a lot of changes go. I think my generation, the millennial generation, we have landed, for better or worse. We have landed. And it's interesting to see where everybody has landed.
So 36 now. When did the guitar start for you? Was it the guitar or the writing? Or tell us about the early.
Yeah, the guitar came first. I think I started taking lessons when I turned 6. I was really interested in playing. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. So that's the only. I'm not particularly mystical, but that's the only part of my career that I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That was so weird that I was so driven to become a singer-songwriter at such a young age. But I always had the harmonica rack, the little guitar, Yeah, and I've been playing my whole life.
Yeah. So who were those people that you would sing along with as a young boy or look up to?
Yeah, originally it was my parents' record collection, right? And they're down the line boomers. So it was, my dad was a lot of Creedence and the Animals, and my mom was very much Laurel Canyon. She very much loved Jackson Browne. And for me, they had a copy of The River, the Bruce Springsteen record, and that was kind of the record that that kind of implanted itself on my brain. I loved the sound of it. I felt that you could hear them having fun. Mm-hmm. You could hear the sound of the room. And I also I recognized all the characters. I kind of even before I could even understand the emotional nuance of a record like that, I feel like I recognized the world that he was singing about, the people. My dad had fought in Vietnam, and he worked in a factory, and my aunts were all named Janie and Sherry and Mary and Terry, and these are all the characters he sang about. So I just immediately was like, that's my guy.
Right. What about the new movie?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Right, like the Dylan movie. Yeah, you never know. But it is Brian Dunne. Let's do that giveaway at 614-821-9223 for the show tonight, Woodlands Tavern. And Dead Gowns are on the road with you.
Yeah.
Tell us about Dead Gowns.
Dead Gowns has been opening up for me the whole tour. They're a great duo out of Maine. And yeah, come early and check them out, and then I'll be on promptly afterward.
All right. And woodlandsproductions.com for details. And self-produced at your own home in Red Hook.
Yeah.
What's Red Hook? Brooklyn area?
Yeah, it's right on the waterfront.
Oh, nice.
Great little arts community. Actually, we try not to tell too many people about it 'cause it's really a wonderful place.
Keep it on the DL.
Yeah, but yeah, I produced the whole record by myself. I just had a specific vision for it, and I knew where I wanted it to go, and I knew that you gotta when you have that, you gotta go with it.
Well, congratulations on this new album. And he's in town tonight again, Woodlands Tavern. We'll have another pair of tickets to give away. And Fantastic Cat, what's up with that? I know you're going to do your solo stuff for now. But...
No. It's all one and the same. It's the same tax umbrella. No, we actually just handed in our third record. It's mastered and ready to go. It'll be out next year.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll hear that on WCBE as well. And give us a little scoop on this last song.
Yeah, so this song is actually a response to the last song. I was really proud of the last song when I wrote it, but I did feel like it was a little potentially sanctimonious. So I thought, well, I'd also like to show two sides of that coin, right? This sort of moving back to your hometown with your tail between your legs can both be sort of a humbling failure, but also a bit of a relief and a bit of a celebration. So I set out to try to write a song of celebration about my own hometown, but it turns out I have mixed feelings. So this song is either a celebration or it's like a horror movie, depending on how you're feeling. But this is a song about where I'm from. Okay. It's called Rockland County. Jamie wasn't much fun anymore. She says everyone acts like a cheap little whore around here. I don't believe in mixology. No, I'd rather stay home and drink with myself for free. Sounds cool, it sounds nice, but I know a place where you won't beat the price. With strip malls, wall-to-wall supplies. We're going up to Rockland County. You and me can live like townies now. Sounds funny, but it isn't much fun. And we're back where we started, back where we started, back where we started from. You can get yourself a waitressing job. You can live off the tips and make a mess with the cops around here. Get yourself a little condo in town, buy a new used Honda and drive it around. It sounds cool, it sounds nice. You know you don't have to waste your time with rich kids who think this is life. Just going back to Rockland County. We can live like Robert Downey now. Stone sober in the Saturday sun. Right back where we started, back where we started, back where we started from. Farmer's Market, Super Target, that used to be a Bed Bath and Beyond. Free parking, what a bargain. You never know what you got till it's gone. You've been accused of a bad attitude. Oh, maybe it's them, maybe it's you, I don't know. But if you find you're losing your mind with your bank account low and your anger so high, just going back to Rockland County. It sounds sad, but you can count me in. Truth be told, you know it isn't much fun. And we're back where we started, back where we started, back where we started from. Right back to the heart of, back back where we started